My name is Jagmohan, and we are continuing with this series. So, in the last video, we created an API in PHP that allows me to send an email. So, we send a post request to that PHP file which resides on the web server, and then it sends an automated email with whatever message that we want, along with the form data which is getting submitted. So all this we did and tested using the Postman application. Now what we are going to do is, now we are going to update our application to actually use that API. Okay, how to consume that API. So now we created and tested it. So it was working already and we were getting the emails. Now let's look at back to that API file once again. And we noticed that it was sending the email twice, so that's the reason, because twice we are calling this mail function. So I'm just going to comment out this first instance, and let just this if condition be there, and save this. So hopefully we'll have just one email when we call this. Now here is our Angular 6 web application. Okay, let's start with environment, but before doing this, as I told you, I already updated my application to version 7. So you can continue with version 6. It's not going to be much difference, but you start getting alert, and that is so annoying. And I want to take this opportunity to update our application to version 7. So let's see how we can do it. I did that example in the last video. We are going to do this once again. I have one demo application which is Angular CLI version 6. All right, so this Angular, I have this application called iTunes, and I run this command called ng version. Now what it shows is that this Angular CLI version is 6.0.8, which we want to update to 7. Okay, so how to do it? It's easy, very easy. So only what we have to do is we need to run a command. So let's do it. What we have to do is we have to run this command called ng update, okay, @angular slash CLI and angular slash core. These are primarily the things that we have been using, and we'll update these. So just an easy example to showcase how you can update. So let this update automatically. We'll wait for it to process. Okay, so every time I'll call the ng command for whatever parameters I'm giving, it will show me the comparison version, that the version I'm running is less than the global version. So here the command that which we are using will update the local version within that project. And to do the update for the global version, you just have to use the flag -g global. So let this do first. Now it's actually showing some progress. It calculated what needs to be updated. Okay, update package.json. So depending on the project that we are updating, it's going to take some time. What I'm updating right now to show this is just a demo application, small little application. It's not much heavy. The actual project that we are working on, once we'll try to do that, it'll be going to take some little bit more time. So just bear with it. It's showing some progress. Now it's showing found 85 vulnerabilities, 11 low, 44 moderate, invalid root result function. So this might come up as one of the thing as the outcome, but let's see if the version has updated. So now I'm running ng version once again to see. What could be the status? Now it shows the updated version as CLI 7.3.9. So the CLI is actually updated, but the fact remains the same that there are vulnerabilities. So let's see. We have this command available, npm audit fix. So now I'm going to run npm audit fix. So this is going to fix the identified vulnerabilities. So this is again going to take time, but that's the steps we wanted to do in order to update our project and application. Okay, so once this is done, let's get back. So it is going to take some time. Let it continue. It's automatically going to fix whatever the gaps are identified. So now we can minimize this and head to, so this part completed, update our application to use Angular 7 and fix dependency issues. This is what is happening right now. So once this is done, we can head to our application. So the application currently looks like this. Yes, we are running the local host 4200 home, and this is how the applications look like, and we are working on currently the contact us section. So when we normally click on contact us, it shows a contact form like this. So we want then if someone comes to our website and fills in this form and hit the send message, it should trigger an email to me. All right, so how to make that work? On the trigger of this button, we want to call that API which we created in PHP. So let's make that happen. So let's head to our code. So in our code, application code, I want to introduce environment.ts now. So there is a folder called environment. Within that folder, you can have n number of environment.ts file for testing, for staging. So many things you can do with this. So what is the purpose? Environment.ts, what we can do is we can specify some of the variables, some of the paths. So when we run this command, instead of changing it within the each and every file, we can specify such variables separately in environment. Let's say currently I'm doing everything in the test environment, so I can put details related to test data server, tests related to API and all those things. And then instead of pointing it to the actual server, it will use the mock data which is available. So just an example. So we can do so many things. What we are going to do here is we are going to specify the API path variables. So let's do this. Okay. Let's put a comma. Then API URL. Okay. API slash posts. I don't know why it's responding very slow. Supposed to respond fast because of the configuration, but not sure why. Okay, API slash posts. This is going to be our API URL, and let's specify email URL, which is a link to our HTTP server. So HTTPS double forward slash HTTPS slash localhost slash API slash contact dot php. Okay, so So we specified two variables, okay, and now we are going to use these two variables in our code. No trailing white space, okay. Okay, leave it. So it is not going to create much trouble. Let's save this. Now, if you remember correctly, we are using the in-memory API. In-memory API means all the requests that we are making will automatically be routed to the in-memory database. So let's go to app modules.ts and let's turn that off. So here is our app.module.ts. Okay, we have already selected one of the option at data encryption equals to false. Now I was wondering if there is an option which allows me to bypass which I could not find in in-memory database. So luckily we have such option called pass thru through unknown URL. So this is this property and we want to set this property to true. So what does that mean? It means that in case it doesn't find anything matching with what we are requesting in the in-memory database, is going to bypass that request so that we can set up a handler which will handle this request for us. So normally what happens if I do not specify or by default it is false. So what happens is it will give you an error that could not find this database, could not find this collection and similar error. But when we set this to true, it is going to look for anything outside the in-memory database. So let's save this. So we did two things. One, specify the environment variable and the path, and now updated app.modules.ts so that in case when we request and for something from anything outside our application, it should be honored. So now we are going to make changes to our component. So okay, let's update our config service. So we're going to specify a function in config service that will allow me to post such request. Okay, API URL we have already specified. So let's first import environment variable. Import import environment from environments slash environment. Okay, so we are going to import this and let's change this to environment dot API URL. So now see how easy it will be. Email URL equals to environment dot email URL. Okay, that's done. So let's save this. Further, we need a function that will allow me to do the posting. So it is much similar to this function called update post, add post. So we can copy this function exactly like this, go up here and let's do this. Okay, so let's call this function called send message. Okay, form data, obviously we'll be getting form data, Instead of post block, let's specify it to any. Uh, Return this dot stp dot post any to this dot email URL form data http options dot pipe. Instead of post, we call it message, and message and sending message. So while sending this message, in case there will be some error, it will show up here. Otherwise, log a message and we'll post our request to this URL which is specified here. Okay, so let's save this. Now we need to call this function from our component module. So let's go to the contact us component. So in contact us components, let's import our service, config service. So private contact service, we're just giving this different name, okay, of type config service. So it's automatically imported. And now let's update this function, send message function. So uh, 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 so it's going to, currently it is just logging the form data. So we want to call this dot contact service dot send message, and we want to add this form data, okay, dot subscribe, okay, just let's log data console dot log data. Okay, so I think we are done with this function. Let's see if it works for us. Okay, so let's head to the application. Contact us. Let me specify some. Okay, my email at Gmail, and this is my first message. So let me just submit and see if it works for us. We can include a message saying that thank you, but okay, let's see if we get this message. Oh, we did receive this message, so it's working, but the data is not there. Okay, what could be wrong? Let's see. So we'll press F12. Okay, access to this from origin has been blocked by the course policy. So access control allow headers. Okay, so what does that mean is we need to specify a header access control allow headers, okay, and we can specify content type. So here from our application we are sending the header as content type. So content type header we want to allow, so we'll specify the same here, that please allow a header content type header in case you have this. So this way we can restrict and much more I mean put more restrictions to access of this API and allow only the type of headers we want, or I mean look safe, or we can further add authorization. So we'll be using it the same headers to allow further different type of headers to restrict access and to allow authentication. But let's see if it works for us now. So let me just refresh this app once, although that was not required. Let's go to contact us, first name, last name, and my um, email at gmail.com. And this is my second message. So I'm sending this now. So this time we do not have that error. It's showing success, but somehow the message got captured. Sending message failed during parsing. So we'll troubleshoot this later. Let's see the success. Okay. Oh, we received two messages. One shows blank and the other one has data. So we are going to have to troubleshoot what is causing this blank message. But the success is there, so that means our API is working. So we'll improve this in the next video. I'll probably see what exactly is causing this problem, and hopefully we'll be able to resolve in the next video. So let's continue this series. And next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize an API, CRUD API. So for PHP. So CRUD PHP. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. So you can go read about this API on GitHub, med MVDSCHWE. So PHP API authorization. Okay, not the authorization. We are looking for CRUD API. So this is one of the most popular APIs, one of the popular APIs written all in PHP 7, which we are using right now. And it has got all the model for authorization, API CRUD. So what we are going to do is we are going to implement our simplified version and also going to see how this one works. So we'll be utilizing it for rest of the application sections. So successfully we covered the contact section and it is working. Much similar to this, we can implement the subscribe section, and instead of just sending an email, there we can put something like adding that email to a particular list in our database so that it becomes relevant and we can utilize that to actually post to those subscribers. So that's all for now. That's all for this video. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting. That's what all I can say right now. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the appreciations. Thank you and good night. Take care. All the best.